I chose the poem The Night House by Billy Collins as an excellent addition to our American Literature course syllabus. And now I will recite the poem The Night House by Billy Collins. Every day the body works in the fields of the world, mending a stone wall or swinging a sickle through the tall grass. The grass of civics, the grass of money, and every night the body curls around itself and listens for the soft bells of sleep. But the heart is restless and rises from the body in the middle of the night, leaves the trapezoidal bedroom with its thick, pictureless walls to sit by herself at the kitchen table and heats the milk in a pan. And the mind gets up too, puts on a robe and goes downstairs, lights a cigarette, and opens a book on engineering. Even the conscience awakens and roams from room to room in the dark, darting away from every mirror like a fish. And the soul is up on the roof, in her nightdress, straddling the ridge, singing a song about the wildness of the sea until the first breath of pink appears in the sky. Then they will all return to the sleeping body the way a flock of birds settles back into a tree, resuming their daily colloquy, talking to each other or themselves, even through the heat of the long afternoon. Which is why the body, the house of voices, sometimes puts down its metal tongs, its needle, or its pen to stare into the distance, to listen to all the names being called before bending again to its labor. And here I have a short analysis of the poem. The poem is about a woman who lies down at night, and as she sleeps, different aspects of what makes her a person comes alive. So her heart gets up and goes to the kitchen, her mind gets up to read a book, her conscience runs away from mirrors, and her soul is up on the roof, singing. And all these different aspects get up to fulfill the desire that is kept from them in their daily lives. The society and maybe the woman's role in the society will keep them from fulfilling their desires. But sometimes the House of Voices, which is the woman's body, will stop what it's doing and listen to what the mind and heart and conscience and soul have to say, or think about what she really feels. And then I have this picture here that embodies what I think the poem is about, how there's so many different things that is part of a person that makes it up. So the very first, the person curled up in a ball, then out of it comes its mind, which would be the green guy, and then I think the blue person would represent the soul, and then the biggest one looks like it would be representative of the heart. And here I have some points to make why this poem would be a great addition to our syllabus. Billy Collins was dubbed the most popular poet in America by Bruce Weber in the New York Times. Another poet, Richard Howard, says that Collins has a remarkably American voice. Billy Collins is famous for his controversial, witty poems that seem humorous at the beginning but often fall into a tender or more profound observation on everyday things. Collins has also offered a slightly different take on his appeal, admitting that his poetry is suburban and domestic and middle class, and it's sort of unashamedly that. Collins has a level of fame that is almost unprecedented in the world of contemporary poetry. And I got most of this information from Poet Foundation, and then I have this little quote from Collins from our American anthology book. It says, "We are attempting all the time to create a logical, rational path through the day to the left and right. There are an amazing set of distractions that we can't afford to follow." And I think that this quote also goes along very well with the poem, because it says that there are an amazing set of distractions that we can't afford to follow, which is why in the poem the woman's mind, body, and soul and conscience get up at night to do what they really desire, because there's just some aspects of life that are hard to follow or they just can't follow. And thank you for listening.